When you say provider and a man gets nervous, that's a little boy. When I say submission to a woman and she get nervous, that's a little girl. Because big people don't worry about that. Reality is men know their roles, women know their roles. And when a person has to teach you your role, that means the people that should have taught you your role wasn't around you teaching you your role. So guess what? Your mother and father did a bad job with you.
What they do?
Your mother failed.
What they do?
Your daddy failed.
What they do?
Your neighborhood failed.
What they do?
Your school failed you.
What they do?
And maybe the church pastor also did too. Because in reality, if you come from good stock, you wouldn't have to be taught this. No one would have to tell you to do these things.
Welcome to the Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast, starring Q the Boss.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to another episode of Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast. They call me Q the Boss. Today's episode is lust versus purpose. Lust versus purpose. And today I'm going to talk to my men like a big brother that's concerned to the younger guys and to a younger guy that's to the older guys that's concerned with them. I think a lot of men are very lust-driven because it distracts them from their purpose. And a lot of time with pursuing your purpose, you find a lot of hardship. You meet a lot of moments where you start questioning yourself. And that's normal. But again, you can't get mad when you're pursuing, because on becoming, you will ultimately find and face the ugliest version of yourself. You know why I say that you will face the ugliest version of yourself? Because after a certain point in life, you have to be 100% honest with yourself. I feel like so many people have mastered lying to themselves that their lies have become their truth. And that's the issue when you're dealing with the culture. More people need to identify what is right and what is wrong. What is wrong and what is right. We can't just keep sitting back acting like the purpose is the reasoning why so many men are hurt and sad and depressed. No matter what a man does, if he does not pursue the greatest version of self, he will be not healthy for no woman. Let me say that again. No matter what, if a man isn't pursuing his purpose, he will never be healthy for no woman. No woman. He's not even healthy for himself. A man has to be in his purpose, therefore elevating himself psychologically. When a man is on his purpose, I promise you, that is the healthiest man a woman could be around. That is the healthiest father a child could be around. That is the healthiest son or daughter that a mother could be around. That is the healthy family member that you could be around. When a man is in his purpose, that is the healthiest son a mother could be around. Or a father could be around. That is the healthiest family member you could be around. When a man is not in his purpose, that is the most toxic person you could possibly be around. No man can tell me he's happy when he's not pursuing his purpose. When I hear a man tells me I'm good, I say you're not good. That's a defense mechanism to deflect how you truly feel about yourself. When a man is truly happy, you'll see, because everything around him, he makes more happy. When a man is in his purpose, it becomes contagious to everything that's around him. Think about a leader. What is a leader? A leader is a builder, right? A true leader is a builder. When a man is in his purpose, he builds. He does not subtract, he add on, right? Any purpose that person is around a person that's on purpose, you notice you become greater around them. You ever played sports with somebody that know who they are and you become better when you play with them? Meanwhile, you're not even that good, but you become greater with them? Because that person is on their purpose. We have discussions all the time, and a lot of times when you talk to people, a lot of people are so inferior to logic that they make their emotions out-trump logic. There are two emotions that walk into a room, right? Two people walk into a room when a conversation is being had. One person that walks in the room is called logic. The other person that walks in the room is called feelings. When you're having a discussion, you'll realize that whatever you give the energy to, one leaves the room. So as soon as a conversation happened, if you get in your feelings, logic just left. If you get in your logic, guess what? Your feelings just left. Most people get in their feelings and logic always leaves the room. Logic could never coexist with feelings. Feelings can't coexist with logic. 1 + 1 = 2, guys. We got to get back to being human again. I genuinely believe that more people are so lust-driven that their purpose has been put on the back burner. And then the people die not ever pursuing the greatest version of themselves, and then they point the finger at everyone other than themselves. You have to look in the mirror and have that nasty conversation with yourself. I'm not doing enough. I need to do more. I'm undisciplined. I'm inconsistent. It wasn't my father, it was me. I need to do better. I gotta stop making excuses. I have to be comfortable with telling myself the truth. This is what you need to have when you're talking to yourself. But a lot of us will avoid that mirror. Because you know why? That mirror is a reflection of truly how you look. It's easy to look like you're winning when you're around losers. It is easy to look like you're winning when you're around losers. It is easier to feel good when you're around people who don't. One thing we gotta identify is that it's easy to make someone sick when you are not healed yourself. We're in a culture of bleeding onto others. We're in a culture of people not pursuing the greatest version of themselves, but yet and still pointing the finger at others. I had a conversation with a guy the other day, right? And the conversation went left. I love when the conversation go left. You know why? Because he's in his feelings.
Whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo. And the reason why I like when a man get in his feelings, because it's so funny, right? It's so funny. I'm gonna tell you what it is. So I'm sitting with him and I'm telling him that as a relationship that he's in, that he's outgrown it. And he believes wholeheartedly that he's gonna drag his woman to the finish line. I'm gonna tell you something. I want y'all to hear this really well. It is not a man's job to fix a woman. And let me say that again. For those men right now that are in relationships, they're gonna argue and scream, buckle and argue. It is not a man's job to fix a woman. It is not his job. A man is supposed to find a woman that adds value to his purpose, and ultimately the woman benefits the most when a man is in his purpose. If you ever go around a man, right, a real man, and you feel inspired, you best to believe you was around a man that was in his purpose. If you ever go around a man who speaks with conviction and confidence, you best to believe you are around a man that was in his purpose. If you ever go around a man who is healthy to his children, healthy to his wife, healthy to his family, you better believe that man is in his purpose. Of course, it's easier to pursue lust than it is to pursue purpose. Because when you in your purpose, you create something called tunnel vision. You gotta be able to isolate your mind and condition your mind to being comfortable being alone. A lot of us have a phobia of being alone. We love attention. We love to be around a magnitude of people. I'm gonna tell you something. The reason why you've been losing is because you've been around losers who want you to lose. You say that these people are your friends, but I'm gonna tell you something. I love to say that you got more struggle ships today than you have friendships. You have more struggle ships than you actually have friendships. You have more struggle ships than you actually have friendships. There are more people that only benefit themselves, right? And they don't understand that it's not the person that you're around, it's the fact that you're allowing people around you who are not chasing their better selves. You should be uncomfortable to be around someone that don't pour back into you. You should be uncomfortable to be around someone that don't pour back into you. When you're around someone that don't pour back into you, all they're gonna do is ultimately suck you dry. And then you realize that over the time, you haven't gotten anywhere. It is sad when you watch somebody running in place year after year. They running in place. It is scary when I talk to men and I'm like, you're running in place. You talk about your day ones, but it's sad your day ones ain't help you to get to day two. You always bragging about your day ones, but your day ones haven't helped you get to day two. And this is a sad, scary story. When you're around people who don't care about pursuing anything other than what they're pursuing, the lust. Because if you're not driven by your purpose, you're gonna be driven by the lust demon. That's a demon, right? That's a real demon. That's a person that's like really like, look, if you listen to some people, and it's sad because when you used to talk to a dude and you used to get into an argument with a guy, the first thing they would say is, I get more girls than you. And it's sad that some men have grown up and they still think like, I get more girls than you. But when you gonna start getting women? I wanna ask that again. You go around people and they brag about how many girls they get. I get more girls than you. I get more girls than you. But I would like to say that a lot of people and a lot of men have never dated a woman. I would like to genuinely say a lot of women have never dated a man. They dated boys. And the reason why I can say it, because the things that they say that their mates do is some of the most childish things I've ever heard in my life. A man would not leech off a woman. A man adds value wherever we go. There are two types of people that ask for a handout. Let me say that again. No, there are two types of people that ask for things. Two types of people. I want y'all to hear this. One person is a person that call you and say, yo, can I borrow $100? And they just begging. The second person is the person that say, yo, do you have any work I could do at your house for $100? They both asking for $100, but it's two different people. They're not the same person. I notice that nowadays more men don't have the pride that we used to have when we were younger. I used to be so insecure about needing people to the point where it's transitioned to my adult years where I only add value to people, so therefore we need each other. I don't want to be the last in the race begging somebody for something, right? Can you what? Nah. I'm saying, but again, I can go into that detail, that story. I'll give into that later. But when you sit down and have these discussions, I've noticed that so many men are so lustful that it's weird because they're not pursuing their best version of themselves. Ladies, if you have to tell a man to go to work, you're sleeping with a boy. Ladies, if you have to tell a man to take care of his child, you're dealing with a boy. Let's establish this today. We're going to keep pushing this narrative. I'm getting tired of hearing it. I keep hearing, you know what's embarrassing? And I want y'all to hear this as men. It is embarrassing when I have to be cross-referenced with somebody else that don't even behave like me. It makes me sick to my stomach when I'm cross-referenced with someone that don't even behave like me. We're not interchangeable. We're not the same creatures. We don't even think the same. We don't even act the same. A man doesn't have to be told to take care of his child. A man understands that a woman needs provision in order to feel comfortable. When a man argues with a woman for feeling uncomfortable financially, and you don't think that that's not normal, that means you're a little boy. Little boy. What y'all should start saying nowadays, when y'all date these guys and they don't do the things that are normally man things, you know what you start calling them? That's my little man. Call him little man. Don't call him a man. Call him little. We got to start cross-referencing in grown men who get up every day and do what they're supposed to do, and they attach us to these losers. I'm so tired of it. A real man ain't going to wake up every day and look for sex because of the fact that his finances not in order. I know a man right now, this is a true story. I know a man right now, and a lot of times you get called a hater for telling the truth. I know a man right now who lives in a woman's place and he brings a girl over to his woman's place when she goes to work. And he has nowhere to live. And once he get caught, he's gonna be homeless. Yo, you know something that's scary? You ever heard of this term? And I want y'all to tell me, you ever heard of a hobosexual? A hobosexual. Yo, this is crazy. Tyler, I'm asking you this question. What is a hobosexual, Tyler? What is it?
I was told a homosexual is a dude who has nowhere to live, but what he does is he just finds a bunch of women and have sex with them and move in with them because he ain't got nowhere to live.
Do you know anybody like that?
I knew a few. I knew a few dudes like that.
Whoop they do.
Yo, that's scary that a man will meet a woman, move up in her place and play king. Ladies, you got to have more standards for yourself. The other day, I'm going to give you some gems. Let's talk logic now. Some ladies going to get a little uncomfortable, but I don't care. The gloves are off. A man doesn't have to tell a woman how to behave. One thing I'm going to tell you something, Tyler, I would never have to tell a woman how to respect me. Because if a woman don't respect me, guess what? she's gonna lose access to me. And a lot of times, oh, that sounds arrogant. That's a fact. Because high value men don't have to be told our value. And a woman doesn't make my value. A woman can only compliment my value. A woman could never make my value. A woman can only compliment my value. But naturally, I have my value within myself and what I've done. I meet the criteria based on psychologically, and I meet the criteria based on economically. So therefore, I guess I consider Lee a high value man. But a woman should never make your value. When a man needs a woman to make his value, that means a woman can take her value away any given moment. There should never be a level of codependency on no one other than yourself and God. But the one thing you should do is being codependent on creating, exchanging resources to build together. If a person don't understand that, then they shouldn't be dating. The concept of dating and marriage is ultimately building something. Stop telling people you've been with your relationship for 15 years and y'all in the same position and y'all met 15 years ago. I'm not impressed. Look.
Won't they do?
15 years later,
Won't they do?
y'all in the same spot. And y'all bragging about how y'all been together 15, 20, 30 years. I'm not impressed.
Won't they do?
Again, I'm not impressed. Y'all been together all this time and y'all can't create nothing. It is sickening when a man and a woman come together. The whole goal is to build. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. It's sad when you meet people that come across the border or they fly into this country and they're able to build fast. I know people right now who don't have papers who are doing better than people that got papers.
Won't they do?
I'm dead serious. They doing better than you. And again, you're gonna keep creating this narrative that don't even exist. A lot of us create this mental blockade that you believe that someone is deliberately holding you back. Someone is holding you back. Who? When? Where? If you got a job, right? You got a paycheck, right? You have an income, right? The last factor of the matter is what you're doing with the money is what ultimately matters. We all got bills and responsibilities. But I'm gonna tell you something, if you dating purposeful, you wouldn't be worried about the problems. A lot of y'all dating unpurposeful, meaning y'all out here looking for lust, sex. But I'm gonna tell you something, you're wasting your time with constantly chasing sex because reality is you will never get nowhere until you learn that you are more valuable when you're in a stable relationship psychologically and you're able to build something. It speeds up your process. Yeah, tell her.
Do you think that a woman shouldn't work? Because I know it's a few guys I know. I'm not taking no shot. Well, whatever. They tell you I'm taking shots. It is what it is. It's a few dudes who I know. They think that they're gonna run their race, get to the finish line, and their woman doesn't work, doesn't bring nothing in, no money into the table. Yes, they have kids, but they're not doing anything significant financially to get to the space that they need to be, especially in this economy. So what is your take on men saying that women shouldn't work and a woman should stay at home all day while they just slave and kill themselves to provide for her?
I'm gonna be honest with you, in 2000...
And wait, real quick, and they think it's super masculine if a woman doesn't work. Like it's like a badge of honor kind of thing.
I think a lot of people are very, very, very unrealistic. It sounds good. If a man is in a position to talk like that, I don't even want him to talk like that. Because reality is, in most cases, people are not going to be able to afford to have a stay-at-home mother, right? You have the elite and you have the regular Joes. More people are regular Joes than not. The one thing I do hear people say is they watch social media so much that they believe that that is reality. I am not attracted to a woman that don't work because an idle mind is a devil's workshop. Let me say that again. I am not attracted to a woman that don't work because an idle mind is a devil's workshop. I'm gonna be honest with you, when I was in my heydays, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, the women that was easy for me to sleep with is the men that were too busy for them. So when a woman is not too busy for herself in her life, she ultimately have too much time to play. Every woman that I was able to bag and sleep with, they had a man that was very busy trying to keep a roof over her head, and when he would leave, it was time to play. So for me personally, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. I would not ever be in a relationship that the woman is idle. I would want a woman that can control her own finances, because again, when you don't have the ability to control your own finances, it comes with a level of control. And if you don't admit that, then you lie to yourself. When a man knows you don't need him, he tends to treat you different than a man that needs you. Think about how a woman treats a man, right, that needs him. When a man needs a woman, women don't act funny. So if a woman needs a man, the man ain't gonna act funny. It's different when a man elevates a woman's life. A man is not supposed to build a woman's life. A man is supposed to elevate a woman's life. The woman's life is supposed to be already stable. A woman is not supposed to make a man's life. She's supposed to elevate a man's life. The man's life is supposed to be already stable. When you have two stable beings coming together and they intertwine their resources, then you're able to have a healthy situation. But if a man or a woman isn't healthy themselves, they cannot be in a healthy relationship. It is impossible. So therefore, every time you meet a man or a woman who's in a relationship that's financially codependent, they're also emotionally codependent. They're also mentally codependent. Just not finances, is across the board. Because 9 out of 10 times you're dating a child. And that's a reality. Call in someone right now. Let's talk about this. 516-253-1150. Put the number somebody. 516-253-1150. Today we taking call-ins. I'm just saying, this lust over your purpose, a lot of people are so lusty that they're not chasing their purpose. And it's sad because the men that get scrutinized, I don't think no man should really get in a relationship until he got his life together. Right? Say again?
Won't they do?
I don't think no man should get in a relationship until he got his life together. And the reason why I say that is because your standards are going to change based on whatever level you at. However high you go, how far you can see. When you at the ground, notice you can't see that far, right? But the higher you go up, the further you can see, right? And that's how men date. The higher you go up, the more you see that you can, your options are plentiful. So the realistic nature is that when a man is not at his best version of self, he dates down at the level he's at. So therefore, it's better to get your life together first. So therefore, you don't have to date at the level you at. Because 9 out of 10 times, when you date at the level you at, the person gonna keep you stuck at the level you at.
I tend to see like a lot of relationships, a guy or a girl, they'll be in a relationship and they'll be with each other from where they were, like in the past when they had bad habits or they weren't their best version of themselves. And that slows up a lot of people. Like I see a lot of men, instead of chasing their purpose, they stay with the women who they aren't their best self, and then they miss out on a lot of like blessings and opportunities that could be if they had just focused and chased their purpose and become the best version of themselves. I think a lot of men aren't successful because of women. Hot take.
I think is you ever see that movie Chirac? Remember when the women stopped sleeping with the guys? The violence went down? That's the same thing. I think if a woman had standards and wouldn't give a man sex and he had to meet a certain criteria, more men would step their game up. But the issue is the men that have absolutely nothing, they still able to give sex. And I'm not talking about financially. I'm talking about the men that have no purpose. They're inconsistent. Their actions don't match what they say they want from life, right? I think every man should be about chasing themselves and focusing on themselves. I think in the beginning, a man should always be very, very selfish. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, this is the reason being. Today, I was talking to a guy. I want y'all to hear this really, really well. And listen to this good. Today, I was talking to a lady. And she said to me, she started bragging about all her accolades and all her credentials. And I looked at her and I said, I don't care about your credentials. And she said, why? I said, because when a man dates you, the reason why men don't care about women's credentials is because when a man builds credentials, he's willing to give all his resources to his family. But when a woman builds credentials, a lot of times they're very selfish with their credentials. So therefore, men don't care about a woman's credentials because naturally, in most cases, men don't benefit from a woman's credentials. And it's just reality. Most cases, the lifestyle that she wants when a woman has credentials and she has a man, she adds the seasoning on her, the meal that was already there. It's not, I've never met a woman that brags about being a great provider, but also wants to take the role as a provider. Most women I've ever met that brag about being a great provider, you know what they do? They tend to look for a man that's a better provider than them. I don't meet women that financially get to levels and then they allow the man to basically leech off of them and still be respected. But I do know a lot of women who leech off of men and still expect to have the respect in the household because a man is looked at only as what he can do. Men are loved with condition, women are loved unconditionally. A woman, again, could have absolutely nothing, but a man would accept her for who she is, right? But this is a narrative. A lot of times we don't like to have these conversations because a lot of people get inferior to facts. Most women love with a condition. Most men love unconditionally. Most women love with a condition. most men love unconditionally. And the reason why I say that that's a fact is because if a man falls off financially, a lot of times it will take a certain amount of time and a woman will start definitely disrespecting him or saying things that make him feel uncomfortable out of the situation. But a woman will expect a man to accept her exactly the way she is, right? But if we don't talk about these logics, a lot of times women go, I don't do that. I'm like, don't make you to stand to get out your feelings. We're talking about the narrative of the whole. Stop taking a piece of the cake off of it and act like that's the whole cake. That's a piece of it. But in retrospect, most men do not feel loved unless they have reached certain levels. And the reason why women lose value in the dating market faster than men is because women are born with value. Men have to earn their value. So while the men are sitting down every day earning their value, the women are already born with value. So therefore, in most cases, a woman can get the best man that she could possibly get in her earlier years. Right? Would you agree? But a lot of times women aren't mature enough to have a discussion that should tell them, like, listen, you should be definitely dating with a purpose while you're younger because you're able to get a better version of a man. In most cases, when women chase their careers and only care about their careers, they end up with a lower man because of the fact that real men don't care about your career. They don't care. Right? You care about a woman's career? You care about her having something that's leeching up for you.
Yeah. It depends, though. I think a man will care about the career. It depends on the career. Like, if she a stripper, I care. I'm sorry. I'm not dating no
That's a
stripper.
career?
That's a career.
Is it?
Yeah, people make a living off of that.
Kenzie, stripping's a career? Ladies and gentlemen, is stripping a career?
Answer that question. I think it is.
Is stripping a career? But I want to answer this question. The lady just asked the question. She said, how do you feel about the dating with an age gap? And the one thing I want to say is, I think it's healthier when a woman dates an older man, right? And the reason why I say that is it is normal that women date up because most women mature faster. So like if you take let's say like a 25-year-old woman, I would tell her to date a 35-year-old man, right? And I don't see nothing wrong with that. But I do believe that in most cases when a man is a lot younger and he looks for an older woman, he's definitely looking to leech off her. I do believe that there's some young women that will leech off an older man, but real women like older men because they mature so much faster. So mature-wise, if you sat down with a 25-year-old man and you sat with a 25-year-old woman, in most cases the 25-year-old woman will be better, like more mature than her. The 25-year-old woman will be more mature than him. And that's what it is. What's that? Yeah, but again, that's the issue we have when we talk logic. Men and women, we got to start identifying logic opposed to our feelings. Someone call in right now, 516-253-1150. One more time, 516-253-1150. Someone call in right now. Let's talk about it. Today we're talking about lust versus your purpose. Why do you think people choose their lust over their purpose? Right? Why do people choose their lust over their purpose? Go ahead.
I think a lot of people choose the lust over purpose because it's easier. You know, chasing your purpose, you have a lot of lonely nights. You have a lot of solitude and just facing the mirror, facing yourself, just seeing the worst version of yourself when you're chasing your purpose. And when you chase lust, you get the excitement. You get the dopamine hit. It's like you're there. It's like you're mentally basically telling yourself you're there already when you get all the dopamines all the time and you're chasing lust and you're getting all the woman. But in reality, you didn't really go far, really didn't do nothing. But I think I see a lot of men, they don't chase their purpose because it's too hard. The lonely nights. A lot of men are codependent on women. They feel like they need somebody's attention. They need to talk to somebody every day. When they don't realize, like, being alone, you have to be, if you really want to be successful, you have to have lonely, like, you need to be alone sometimes. You have to.
Watch this. You ever got a phone call? Somebody typed the number. Someone asked for the number. You ever got a phone call, right? And once the person tell you what they're going through, you feel like you going through it, right? It's energy. Now watch this. Picture this. We all walk into a room, right? You close the door. You turn off the lights. I tell her, close your eyes. Your eyes are closed, right? What do you hear? You can hear your thoughts. The reason why I said that, and you hit the nail on the head, the reason why you need to be able to hear your thoughts is because if a man can't hear himself think, he'll distract himself with everything that does so that he cannot hear himself. A man has to be able to hear himself think. Because if you could hear yourself think, you'll see how crazy you sound sometimes. If you could hear yourself think, you'll see how crazy you sound. And sometimes you got to have those conversations alone. Say some of the things you say out loud and you'll realize you are crazy. Before you say something, say it out loud. Say it out loud. You be like, damn, I'm crazy as hell. Right? You got to be able to hear yourself think. A lot of people don't give themselves enough time and alone time to hear themselves think. Because if you can hear yourself think, you'll realize that a lot of people are really crazy. A lot of people are really crazy. Right? We got to call it, guys. Yeah. But again, you got to be able to go into a room and hear yourself think by yourself. It took me years of isolating myself, working on myself, and listening to myself. And I was able to elevate myself because I was able to hear myself. Right? Caller, what's going on, caller?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Doing, bro?
How you doing, bro?
Oh, pretty good, man. I just want to say, man, I follow you all the time, man, and basically, a lot of stuff you touching on is absolutely true, bro.
I appreciate it.
I'm trying to give you a little backstory of what I've been going through right now. So, I got married in February 2025.
Okay.
So, I'm already looking at divorce right now, bro.
Wow.
Only because, you know, a lot of stuff you be saying about, you know, what a man should do, what a woman should do, and all this. Right now, I'm chasing purpose. I don't think the person that I've been with is understanding that. You know, coming to a situation and it's like, I don't think they really understand. Like, I'm not chasing sex, and I didn't really get married for that. Like, and you know, she moved to my house, and I gave her access to all my stuff, basically.
Okay.
So and just recently, like you know, my trucking company kind of went down a little bit, but it's not all the way down. But I guess she kind of just switched up on me, bro. And I seen all these things and these red flags, and I'm like, already ready for divorce, bro. Like, I don't even understand it, but I'm gonna let nature take its course because at the end of the day, I'm still a man. I'm a man with purpose, and if you're gonna be with me, you gotta build. I'm not here to take care of nobody.
Could I ask you a question?
Women gotta be able to hold their own. Yes, sir.
When you first was dating her, right, and being fair to yourself, did you see red flags?
Did I see what?
Red flags.
No, you know what? It was, now that I hindsight and I look back at certain things, yeah, now that I look back at it, but, you know, it was like, okay, she was staying with a friend. You know, she didn't really have too much nothing going on. I mean, she still was successful in her own way. She does hair and at a salon and all this other stuff, but it was like, okay, you made it seem like you hold your own. But now I'm looking back hindsight, it's like, oh, you're worried about what I got, my house or my car, and you thought you was going to be taken care of in a certain way. But when I start holding her to certain standards, like, hey, check this out. You should be saving your money doing X, Y, and Z. Or what about doing your own salon, doing your own thing? None of those things kind of register to her. So I just started seeing certain things. And especially like in the beginning of our relationship, I'm over the road all the time. So it was like, all right, well, once I stopped that and able to get off the road, that's when a lot of stuff just in full view, I got to see it. I'm like, nah, I can't deal with that, bro. Nah.
You know one rule I have with dating before marriage, I always tell people when you're dating someone, you should go to them and say, yo, you know what? Let's open up a joint account. Let's put XYZ amount. Let's try this for 2 years, 24 months. Let's see if we could put $200 in a piece. Let's see if we could put $100 in a piece. Whatever number y'all decide, 500, whatever the number may be. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. One of the number one reasons why people don't last in relationships is because of finance. And a lot of times you can be hindered and stunt your own growth by choosing someone that it's like a sack race. You know how you get into like a potato sack race?
Yeah.
Imagine you and your wife in the potato sack and you jumping and she just laying there. Will y'all win a race?
No, we're not gonna get too far, and that's kind of like what a decision I made. What I made it recently, because I see what you're saying. If I'm on a trajectory here and I'm trying to propel, and I mean, like you said, hey, let's take a couple $100 here or whatever you can spare,
Yes,
or whatever. Let's throw it in the joint account. So it got to a point where I'm realizing I'm taking care of all the finances, and so. When I question her, I like, wait, hey, how you always don't got no money or whatever, but you don't even contribute to the, I'm not asking you to, but you don't have nothing. Like, what are you doing with your money? So she got mad for me asking her, questioning her.
That's a defense mechanism.
What's going on with her finances?
That's a defense mechanism.
Right, and so.
Because you should be allowed to as a husband.
As a husband, I should be allowed to.
100%.
So all these things happen and the responses I got just for general questions as your husband, I'm asking you because I'm trying to figure out what's the plan for the future. Like, what's the plan? What are we doing here? Mm-hmm. And when she got defensive about stuff like that, bruh, that's why I said all that stuff that back slack she was giving me, I just had to make a decision, and I told her to move out, bruh. I told her you just got to figure yourself out. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on with you, but you'll get it together. I don't know what to tell you.
You know what it is though. The one thing I tell men, the rule is. Let me ask you something. Is she very active with social media?
Very active.
And there's a reason I want to say that. There's a reason why I want to say that real fast. The reason why I always tell you I wouldn't date a woman that's very active on social media, because a lot of times when you keep watching things, you take on the energy and the mentality of what you keep watching. A lot of times people that are heavy on social media, they tend to, not saying in a sense of, they overly think that this is real life. They can't differentiate reality from social media world. Right. So it's dangerous. It's dangerous. Right. You know, you got to make sure the person has balance.
It's very dangerous. And right. And I've seen that. And like, she's the type of person that will do the social media fronting. Like, I know who you are in real life, but you want the people to perceive you a different way. Like, you got X, Y, and Z and all these great things going on.
You know what that mean?
But I know you.
You know what that mean?
Yeah.
That means she's insecure.
What does it mean?
She's insecure.
She is very insecure.
It has to be.
Because why would you fake the funk? Like, and I told her when we first met, I was like, hey, I'm not a real rich man, but I got a business. I'm telling her everything, like, what you see is what you get. And I don't have to put up a front and say things that are not true. I'm showing you the real me and who I am. But she likes to put on this big facade. And I'm like, I can't, and I'm not that type of person. Like, I'm not attracted to that. But then it got to a point where in the bedroom, I'm not even attracted to you in the bedroom now because I see your mentality. That doesn't attract me. Like what attracts me is a woman that can hold your own and you busy. Like you said, idle mind is the devil's work. I start to see that. Like, you two, I don't know what it is, but I have to free myself from that.
And I will say this, my brother, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. A man should never have to force leadership. It's like in a sexual encounter, you want a woman just to give herself to you, right? And that's the same way. That's the same way you want it to be in a relationship. You want the woman to submit and just give leadership by trusting you and understanding that, we have a goal to complete. And again, I'm not going to be the best husband I can be unless I'm on my purpose. And if you're not adding to that purpose, that means you're subtracting from that purpose, ultimately distracting me from becoming the greatest version of myself. And I'm never going to be the greatest husband I can be until I get on my purpose. And that's just what it is. You meet a lot of men who can become great, but they choose to spend a lot of energy. Men aren't nurturers, we're providers. A man that spends too much time nurturing ultimately loses time from being a great provider. The more you nurture, the more you pour into a relationship, the less you're giving energy to be a provider. So with that being said, a man has to pursue his purpose first, and then ultimately everything around him should benefit that purpose, and they will benefit from the purpose itself. That's just reality.
Yeah, exactly. And she doesn't kind of understand that. And I tried to have that real conversation with her to let her know what my head was, what headspace I'm in, and she was more on the selfish tip, her feelings, and You know, I told her, man, you got to get out your feelings. It ain't about how I feel, because I might not want to get up and go to work that day. I might not want to do a lot of things, but I got to take the feeling out of it and do it anyways, because that's my job to do it. So I'm not going to nurture your feelings because you feel like this, that, or the other.
She come from a broken situation, a mother and father?
I'm figuring that out too. I talked to her sister, so her sister was telling me some stuff about some abandonment issues that she had with her, with her father leaving.
Yeah.
But mind you, she's
love her
the one
though?
that suggested the separation.
But you love her?
I do.
So this is what you should do.
But I can't.
I will say this though.
Oh, go ahead.
I think personally you should recommend her to go seek therapy. And if she's willing to do the work,
me to do that. She said I'm crazy.
Well, then if it's not meant to be, then it's not meant to be. But the one thing I will say is, you can make a suggestion. If she doesn't administer to it, you remove the access to you. And if it doesn't bother her, then that mean that wasn't for you. At the end of the day, you win some, you lose some. You got to hit it with the
Whoop-de-doo.
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 Right. And that's where I'm already at with it, because we actually share the same birthday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we just had a birthday on Friday together.
Happy belated.
But we didn't spend birthday together. I appreciate you. But we didn't spend our birthday together, and that told me a lot I need to know. So
It's
really,
okay.
I just blocked off my social media, I ain't talked to her.
Can you do me a favor? What's your name?
My name is D.
Yo,
DeMarcus.
DeMarcus, do me a favor. You are a king. Say this. Say it with me. Say I'm a king.
I'm a king.
I need to focus on myself.
I need to focus on myself.
The more I worry about someone that's not helping me,
The more I worry about somebody that's not helping me.
is the less I'm gonna be worried about what's helping me.
Say that again.
The more I'm gonna worry less about what's not helping me.
I'm going to worry less about what's not helping me.
I'm gonna go after the best version of myself.
I'm going to go after the best version of myself.
And whatever's gonna be there in the end is gonna be there.
Whatever's going to be there, it's going to be there.
I want you to hear this guy with love, my brother with love. What is for you will always be for
Yes,
you.
sir.
What is for you will always be for you.
Always be for me.
100%.
I've always heard that, and I truly believe that. So I'm gonna continue to. I just started a new business.
Yes.
I'm about to just continue to work on that and focus on myself, brother. That's all I'm about to do. But like I said, I hear you guys touch on a lot of things. I'm
Appreciate
like, man,
it.
I got to call y'all because y'all talking that real talk, and people really in real life go through this type of things. And
I've been through it
so
all.
I'm gonna really focus on myself.
Look, if I tell you my story, 17 years old, had a child, grew up in the hood, went to prison, became a father at 17, divorced after 18 years. I can keep going on and on with my story. I have so many different experiences. Got to a Division I college, got expelled for getting, I can go all day. I've had so many different experiences in life. This is why I pour into others, because I'm like, I want to help so many more people. But my brother, shoot me a DM. I want to keep up with you and make sure that you're on your purpose.
Oh, yes, sir, bro. I appreciate the time.
No, I appreciate you more, my brother.
I'm about to get my buck behind back to work, man. Appreciate it.
I love it. Let's get it, brother. Give it up for him, guys. Let's give it up for him. Listen, it's not about pushing someone in the wrong direction. It's about pushing people in the right direction. Whatever choice he has to make, he's going to have to make. But in reality, there are a lot of people who need to work on themselves before they get into situations. And that's men and that's women. Sometimes we point the finger at men all the time when things go left. But that when it was right, sometimes we don't understand that it went left because of the opposite sex, whether man or whether woman. So again, we got to work on ourselves to the point where a man is so purposeful that is, I said a story the other day that I get hit on by a lot of women, right? And I do. And I'm not saying this because I'm the most handsome guy on earth. I'm just being honest. Women like men that are secure, right? Women like men that are sound. They're in control with themselves. But the funny thing about getting hit on by a lot of women is a lot of women can't even get my attention. Because the reason being is because a lot of them think like little girls. And I'm not attracted to little women. You know what I'm saying? I'm attracted to big women who secure with themselves. If I go into a room with a woman and I say submission and a woman gets defensive, she already is not even in my parameter. She doesn't understand her role. If I go to a man and I say provider and he gets uncomfortable, that's a little boy. That's a little boy. Look what I just said to you. When you say provider and a man gets nervous, that's a little boy. When I say submission to a woman and she get nervous, that's a little girl. Because big people don't worry about that. Reality is men know their roles, women know their roles. And when a person has to teach you your role, that means the people that should have taught you your role wasn't around you teaching you your role. So guess what? Your mother and father did a bad job with you.
What they do?
Your mother failed.
What they do?
Your daddy failed.
What they do?
Your neighborhood failed.
What they do?
Your school failed you.
What they do?
And maybe the church pastor also did too. Because in reality, if you come from good stock, you wouldn't have to be taught this. No one would have to tell you to do these things. No one has to tell me that as a man, I should be beating my woman out the bed. No one will tell me as a man, I will sacrifice myself more so my woman can have more time with my children. No one has to tell me that because that's logical, right? Sometimes men don't get the credit and the love that they deserve, but in reality, a man has to understand that being a man is a very thankless job. It's a very thankless job. You got to get to the point where it's self-satisfying. To all my men on my live right now, please hear this well, and I'm giving you a gem. When pursuing the greatest version of yourself, you got to make sure that this is self-satisfying. Because I'm going to tell you something. No one's going to clap and give you the applause when you chasing. When you chasing. But you know something? When you reach the finish line, everybody going to act like they was there supporting. And I'm telling y'all, logic. Every time a man chases, everyone will stand there at the finish line cheering for you when you're about to cross the finish line. But when you started the race, no one's going to be standing there with you. And that's a harsh reality. But again, you still got to just go after it because it makes you fulfilled. You can't fulfill your purpose because of a woman. You can't fulfill your purpose because of your children. You have to do it because it's self-satisfying. Yo, you ever been around somebody, like a man that's so happy? It just like, it reeks off of him. It's like a cologne. You smell happy. You move happy. You act happy. You do things that make others happy. Because that man is in his purpose. Some people are meant to do certain things and some people aren't. But the reality is when a person understands what he's meant to do, he stopped doing things that he ain't meant to be doing. And it takes a real person to accept the fact that in life, everything don't happen overnight, but it will happen one night. Everything don't happen overnight, but it will happen one night. And it took me a while to accept that it ain't gonna happen overnight, but it's gonna happen one night. And I refuse to ever stop my race for a woman. Any man on my live right now say, listen, if a woman ain't benefiting my purpose, she can't benefit from my purpose. Why are you benefiting from my purpose when you ain't helping the purpose? And I want you ladies to hear this good. Some of y'all gonna get a little uncomfortable, but I'm telling you some grown man talk right now. Every time a man wins, the woman that's around him wins even more. Do you understand that? That's how foolish a lot of my women are these days. When a man is winning, you win more. The man buys a big house, who benefits and gets to stay in the house longer? Who stays at home more? When a man owns a big home, who stays there more? The family, right? Not him, right? When a man has a big house, big car, vacations, who benefits more? So if the woman was smart, which like our grandparents was, don't you know your grandmother did a lot for your grandfather because she benefited extremely from it? If they were smart, they would understand if I help this man's purpose, this man will definitely become greater and I benefit from it. Sometimes I feel like we're talking rocket science. It's that common sense. The Bible says the woman is the man's what? Helpmate. Helpmate. Anytime a man is pursuing the greatest version of self, the woman will always benefit. She benefits the most. And that's just the logic. Good.
I got a story. So about like 2 weeks ago, I had met this woman and we was texting for a couple days or whatever. Like we get to know each other.
Hope is a woman.
we I was in a different state. She was in New York or whatever, so we didn't get a chance to finally link up, go out on a date or whatever. So the day that we planned, she had work. So after she got off work, we was gonna do it. And this was like 3 days prior to that. But then a couple hours later, I got hit up for a good opportunity, film industry, whatever, great opportunity. And it was the day of. So I'm like, oh my God, bro, I have to go to work. I'm sorry.
I gotta do what I gotta do.
I gotta do what I gotta do. So basically, the next day, I told her, this is 2 days prior for the day, I told her, like, so we're gonna have to reschedule for Friday. I already know you have work, which is good, but I gotta do what I gotta do. It's a big opportunity. She got mad at me. She's like, why would you take the opportunity?
Whoop they do.
Exactly. Why would you take the opportunity? And I just knew I grew as a man because I texted, I said, why would I not? Like, simple. I said, why would I not?
If a woman gets mad at you for chasing your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, then you're dating a little kid. Think about this. A little kid will get mad at a man for working too much. A little kid will get mad at a man for pursuing. If it was a birthday and y'all was in a committed relationship, I could understand that. I could understand that. Being fair to the woman.
Understandable.
But if a man...
We just met.
Listen, every man that's on his purpose is too busy for his family at times. Every one of them. But again, you have to sacrifice in order to become greater. Especially when you're the first generation that's pursuing anything great. That's what people don't want to acknowledge. We got to identify that. We're the first generation. If my dad was rich, and my grandfather was rich, I would have a lot of time to be with my family. It's that simple. But guess what? My daddy didn't leave me nothing. My grandfather didn't give me nothing. So guess what? I built everything myself, self. It's that common sense. But again, if I don't chase my goals and build myself, self, guess what? I'm going to be happy. And guess what? My girl's going to feel the unhappiness. So ladies, when your man comes home at times, you got to realize it's something deeper than anything else. If a man picking fights, that is not the natural essence of a man. Men like peace. So if a man doesn't like peace, that means he likes war. And the reason why he likes war is because he don't know what peace is. That means there's a war going on inside of him that he has to pour onto the universe. Every man that you see that likes war is because there's a war going on inside of him. But where there's peace, there can't be no war. I realized the moment I became peaceful is the moment I stopped looking for war. The moment I became happy, I stopped looking for tears and crying and unhappiness. But as a man, you cannot become great by pursuing women. It will never, ever happen. Every man I know that chase behind women, they're broke. Every man I know that chase behind women, they're broke. Every man I know that chase behind women, say it with me, they're broke. And again, you're going to feel bad. I'm going to tell you something. I'd rather a woman dump me in my Bentley than dump me in a hoopty. I'm going to say that again. I'd rather a woman dump me in my Bentley than dump me in my hoopty. I'd rather a woman dump me in my mansion than dump me in my shack. I'd rather a woman dump me on vacation than dump me in the projects. We talking logic, guys. Because I'm going to be honest with you. As a man, you have to pursue your greatest version of self. And ladies, you will benefit from the men that are on that purpose. Yes, you're not going to see him every day. Yes, he's not going to have the free time that you would like. Yes, he's not going to come punking, picking with your family all the time. But guess what? When he comes around, he's going to make those times count. Because you get to spend that time with your daughter or your son all the time. When he comes around, he's going to make those moments count because they mean more to him. Because he had to earn those moments. And a lot of times when the men are sacrificing the time they don't have with their children is because they worried about giving the moments to you guys. The other day I had a conversation. I want to blow him up. I don't care if you get mad. Tell him I know how to fight. And I fight good. We was having a conversation. This man pays about $400 in child support a month and had the nerve to tell me that he take care of his kid. I told him, if you don't get out of my face, I'm going to beat you up. So what you mean? I said, $400 to take care of a kid, brother? That's come on, that sounds like a pair of sneakers every week. Like, come on. I said, yo, brother, you got to stop putting a price tag on your children. Because as a father or as a mother, you should never put a price tag on your children. The first rule of life is always putting your family first. That's the first rule. The other day, I went to go see this lady, and she was crying about her man don't give her baby father don't give her no money, and her kid needs a private school, but she got a $7,000 dog. I said, you got a $7,000 dog. I think you should have paid that on. You should have put that into some tutoring. She looked at me and said, well, I need my dog. I said, you don't need a dog. You want a dog. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to know the difference between needs and wants. We got to know the difference between needs and wants. I know there's a lot of men out here right now going broke behind, chasing behind the luxurious lifestyle that some of these women want. I'm going to tell you something. Those women that watch social media and believe that they warranted what those women on social media have, like celebrities, that means you're dating a woman that is clearly sick psychologically. If you have a regular woman who works a regular job and wants a regular guy to give her a superstar lifestyle, you're dating a woman that is sick psychologically. She's crazy. If you got a woman who would take a $25,000 bag over $25,000 in stocks, she is diabolical. If you date a woman who is comfortable with $25,000 bag over $25,000 in stocks, she is diabolical. Run. Run. So we talking logic, guys. Stop crying about the women you choosing and then putting every woman in the box. There are a lot of women that work with men every single day. You know why I can tell you there's a lot of women that work with men? I'm going to tell you why. Because a lot of women get pregnant by regular men every single day. So stop the crap. Every woman is not looking for gold, but every woman is looking for stability. Every woman is not looking for gold, but every woman is looking for stability. Sometimes we put every person in a box and say, oh, women want men with money. No, every woman wants stability. Well, let's acknowledge that and call that a fact. That's a fact. We're not going to act like that don't exist. That's a fact. And I'm okay with that. And I think that's fair to a woman. But every man wants respect. And we're not compromising our respect anymore. Man, if a woman don't talk to you like the king that you are, then you need to dethrone yourself and walk away from that kingdom. Listen to that again. Men, if a woman you're dating don't talk to you like the man that you are or the king that you are, then you need to dethrone yourself and walk away from that kingdom because you're not a king in that house. And believe you me, if she sees another king, she will entertain him. The moment a woman talks to you with disrespect is the meaning that there's somebody that can infiltrate your situation. Someone can get into your situation if she talks to you like that. Because if she don't respect you, there will be someone else she will respect. I don't care how tough she is. You want to know why? And I'm going to tell you a fact. You know, when you see a woman right now, right? And you see a woman and she says to me that, oh, ain't no man. When you see the toughest girl pregnant, somebody infiltrated her. She submitted to somebody. Ladies, you got to admit that when you submit, you giving away sex, you're submitting to somebody. If you don't acknowledge that, you're a fool. We're talking logic. And I'm not going to get in my feelings. I'm going to tell logic. But, man, we got to start working on ourselves and understand you can't get mad at the fact that a woman wants security. That is a natural essence of a woman, and I acknowledge it, and I co-sign it, and I definitely will subscribe to any woman that says, I want a man that's stable. There's nothing wrong with that, ladies, so don't lie to yourself. I want a man that's stable. All my ladies on my live right now, please say, I want a man that's stable. Let's just get it out the way. I want a man that's stable. Say it. I want a man that can provide, or I want a man that's stable. Let me hear somebody say that on my live right now. Let's be honest. I want a man that's stable. I want a man that can provide. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. Yes, I know. Come on, I'm not going to lie on my ladies. The one thing I want everybody to understand, when I come on this podcast, I do not hate women. I'm not a misogynist. I don't hate women. I don't hate men. But I hate the lies and the narratives that we spew that aren't real. We lie to each other. We lie to ourselves. We lie to ourselves. I'm no longer going to lie when I come on this podcast. I do know that men have issues. But the reason why men have issues is because prematurely, they want to get in relationships. Prematurely, but a lot of them come from abandonment issues. A lot of them come from mommy issues or daddy issues. And one of the number one reasons when they come from abandonment or mommy or daddy issues is codependency. They need relationships. But the problem with getting to a relationship prematurely, the resources that you should be building with, you're already giving them away. So guess what? You're never going to build an empire when you realize that you're already giving away your empire. So every man that says that he's going to be a king and he's going to build an empire, you cannot build anything if you keep giving away the resources. That's like keep giving away the wood and you're talking about building a home. How are you going to build when you keep giving it away? You can't give away things prematurely until you're able to give it. A man should not give away until he can afford to give it. Let me say that again. A man shouldn't give it until he can afford to give it. Two times. That is diabolical. That's diabolical. Someone calling right now, 516-253-1150. One more time, 516-253-1150. People say to me all the time, you act like you know it all. I say I know more than a lot of people because I'm not in my feelings. People say to me all the time, you feel like you know it all. I said, I don't think I know it. I know more than a lot of people because I'm not in my feelings. I'm in my logic. I've executed my logic so much to the point that I'm getting stronger and stronger by the day, psychologically, because I'm not in my feelings. I'm in my logic, right? If a bag is heavy and there's a man and a woman standing there, who should lift it up? Logically. I want you to hear, who tell her? Answer, get on the mic, give it to Kinsey. I want Kinsey, give it to Kinsey. You don't do this too often. Let's do this, Kinsey. If there's a heavy bag and there's a man and a woman standing there, who should lift it up?
The man.
Okay, if a tire needs to be changed, who should do it?
The man.
If the bills are heavy, who should pay the bulk of it?
The man.
If someone should be the disciplinary, who should it be?
Depends on the situation.
Okay, I'll give you that. But if someone will work more, who should it be?
The man.
Who should sacrifice himself first?
The man.
If there's a noise and you hear it, who should go see what it is first?
The man.
But nowadays, men don't want to address the role. We have to identify there are roles. Whether we like it or not, there are roles, right? And as a man, who should be the father of the house?
The man.
Who should be the leader?
The man.
So when we lead, we don't lead with control. We don't control, we lead. Lead means if I go left, Kinsey, you go what?
Right.
You follow, right?
Yeah.
That's what leadership is. But it's a choice. One thing about our creator, think about this narrative. God has created, he gave everybody Tyler something called the freedom of free will. It's the freedom of free will. You can go whatever the hell you want. You can do whatever the hell you want. That's on you. But that's how life is too with leading. When leading, the person has to be willing to what?
Follow.
Follow. We have to also give them something too. There you go. Give it. It's that simple, guys. It's really that simple. We fighting the wrong fight. Men are against women, women against men. But we have to look in logic and understand that men, in order for a woman to submit to you, she needs to see a leader. And ladies, for a man to wife you, he needs to see respect and submission. If a man doesn't see submission, and I'm telling every man in my life, if a woman gets inferior to the word submission, run. Run. Because that is not a wife. Let me say this before we get out of here today. The Bible says a man that finds a wife, Tyler, what? A man that finds a wife finds what? Do you know it?
A helpmate.
No, he said a man that finds a wife finds a Goodthing.
A good thing.
Say it again. A man that finds a wife finds a
good thing.
A man that finds a wife finds a
good thing.
A man that finds a wife finds a
good thing.
A man that finds a wife finds a
good thing.
What is the action word in that segment? What is that action word?
Good.
No, find.
Fine.
Find is the action. So that means we have to look for it. So every woman is not made to be a wife. Every man ain't made to be a husband, ladies and gentlemen. We got. Hold on, we better get out of here soon. Read this. On the nature of lust. On the nature of lust. Lust is a craving for salt of a man who is dying of thirst. Lust is a force, all its own. It consumes the mind and the body and causes even more loyal to indulge in its sinful ways. Lust is the most dangerous sin because it never looks like sin at first. It feels natural. It feels good. It whispers. Just one look, just one thought, just one moment. And before you know it, you are caught, chained to desire that grows stronger with every indulgence. That is lust. We got to pursue our purpose, guys. We got to stop chasing lust. Lust will distract you from becoming the best version of yourself. Look in the mirror. Have that uncomfortable conversation with yourself. Tell yourself, I am no longer going to worry about what others think about me. I'm going to worry about what I think about myself. I'm no longer going to lie to myself and tell myself what I want to hear. I'm no longer going to act like I'm not doing the best I could be doing because I'm not doing the best that I should be doing. I'm not doing the best I could be doing because I'm not doing the best I should be doing. We're going to start telling ourselves the truth. Listen, to all my men who are lustful, who are chasing women, a woman can walk past me butt naked and I already see the problems a mile away before I even look at her. Because everything that glitters ain't gold. And everything that shines is damn sure not a diamond. We got to focus on ourselves, man. Because our family needs us to level up. Stop chasing sex and start chasing your purpose. Till next time, guys. Don't let that go over your head.